#1. I run BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal. I run BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal.
All right, here we go. Dawgface. Welcome back to Vlad TV.
Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Last interview did some numbers.
I'm a numbers man.
Well, a lot to talk about, but I think the Carmelo Anthony case is where we should start. Now, you've spoken a lot about that. Charleston White, who's now a regular on my show, he said various things about that. What is your take on the overall verdict with Carmelo getting 35 years?
My take on the overall verdict is that it was a trap. Racial components came in later. And what that is how people are interpreting what happened and trying to be cognizant and aware of their behavior. The person who needs to think twice about what they're going to do to somebody else when it happened. He was still looming over him. Carmelo bullies chose to be the aggressors. You know, it came from. You can't whitewash the whole watermelon felon thing to make it have nuance. Aren't there always nuances?
There's always, well, no, sometimes it's pretty much, he's guilty. Okay. That's all there is to it. Right. Sometimes it's just that.
Right.
In this case, there are nuances, right? So this boy goes into an Asian store, and I guess that the store owner thought he stole something. Not sure whether was the person who killed him. Right. So there really is no actual proof that he pointed the gun at Mr. Chow.
The state is charging him with coming back and shooting Ben 10 while it appeared that he laid helpless on the ground. That's why they didn't charge him with the three. So on the federal case, it's a felon being in possession of a firearm, right? And so, but there is precedence in federal and state law that says that a felon can be in possession and can possess a firearm and can use a firearm if they feel like their life is in imminent danger. And his life was in imminent danger because it articulates the fact that he was being robbed and assaulted by multiple people. Multiple people jumping on one person is the same thing as one person having a weapon doing something to another person. Because you have multiple people kicking you, hitting you, raising up chairs, trying to bash you upside the head with it, right? So he has that. But then the state came, and this is where Texas gets kind of tricky. He was charged with one count, and people were trying to figure out for the life, well, why? It was 3 people that got shot. It was Ben 10, Daddy and Ron, who remembers the NBA, and there was an innocent bystander who got hit in the buttocks, who got hit in the ass with a bullet, right? Just being wrong place, wrong time. So the question was, why wasn't he charged with all 3? Why was he only charged with shooting Ben 10? It was because, and it is because, that they're saying that the portion they're charging him for is coming back and shooting him while he was appeared to be laying helpless on the ground. That's why he was only charged with shooting Ben 10. He wasn't charged with shooting the bystander, and he wasn't charged with shooting Daddy and Ron because of what I just told you.
Hey. He should never went back and shot that nigga again, man. He should let him go. Dang, he did overdo it, man. He had to spit on the nigga. He had to come back, try to pistol whoop her. Empty the clip out on him. He tried to do some stuff. It was on his mind. He was in Terminator mode for sure. But why? Dang, he would have never came back. He wouldn't have got charged for none of it. Maybe he wouldn't have got charged for none of it, man. Except if he a felon in possession of a firearm. But maybe he could beat that though, because he just picked the gun up. I ain't in possession of this motherfucker till I had to get possession of this motherfucker in fear of my life, guy. I ain't never was in fear of my life. I wouldn't have never had no gun, nigga.
Man, ain't that some shit? Someone goes and robs you, and they have guns on them and so forth, and you protect yourself, and now you're being charged with assault.
Yeah, the crazy part about it all, Vlad, is that there are a bunch of Monday morning quarterbacks saying, well, he went too far. They're not arguing whether he had the right to possess and use a gun because they know that there is standing that says, okay, you can, because you're protecting yourself and the person you're with. The question is, the Monday morning quarterbacks are saying, well, he went one step too far. Hey, listen, what the fuck is you talking about? He went one step too far. How do you know what was going on in his mind? He was confronted by multiple...
Yeah, he was confronted by multiple people. Yeah, but when he got the gun, though, when the rabbit got the gun, niggas dispersed, bro. Niggas took out running, all type of shit. He hit Big 10, boom, nigga on the ground. He hit him again. He stopped moving. After that, fam, what could be going through your mind? I mean, he couldn't have been possibly any more of a threat to you. And then you spit on the man. After you spit on him, for sure now. But damn, you tried to empty the clip on the nigga. The clip was empty. You seen the clip was empty. You reach down and hit the nigga with the pistol. Like, you do some shit, dog. Like, you go on one. You go on one, nigga. I don't know. You ain't defending yourself. Everybody gone. Niggas done took out running. They done ran in the air. They done left Ben 10. Nigga left him on the ground, folks. They gone. You with him, you the only one in the room with Ben 10. And instead of just goddamn, you trying to hit the nigga. You still kicking in and hitting him with the pistol and spitting on him. You down there want to pee on the nigga. If you had time, you might would have took a piss on the nigga, man. Like, this shit is crazy.
There were men and women. Well, the women wasn't gonna do shit. How the fuck you know? Women are just crazy as men now, goddamn days. Yeah. So he was approached by a group of 10 to 15 people. He didn't know who was all jumping in, who was hitting him back in the head, who was kicking him, who was trying to pull on his chain, snatching his watch off. He didn't know. So what he did was what he did because the threat presented itself. Talk about stand your ground, for example. There's no way he should have been charged with anything. Nah. Well, he went one step too far. Listen, as a person who's been shot myself, if I found myself in a situation, I'm going to shoot them motherfuckers so they catch on fire. I'm going to shoot air. I'm shooting a bitch. I don't give a fuck who there. Anybody with y'all, I'm shooting their ass. It could have been a kid. It could have been somebody else. I'm shooting your motherfucking ass because y'all all together.
But you ain't got to spit on them and stand on them and the niggas body. They seem they're helpless and down. If you don't kill them from the first bullet, man, you can't do it, man. You gotta let them bleed out, man.
I don't have time to try to figure out who did what, who done it, who was on first base, who tried to steal. No, I don't got time for that. I'm shooting your motherfucking ass. That's a fact, Jack. Period. Simple as that. And so for people to say, well, he went one step too far. Hey, there are people running around. I don't know who these people are. Right? And just because he's laying motionless on the ground, I have faith. Listen, when you're being attacked by a bear.
People are running around because the niggas shoot. They getting the fuck out of there. Niggas is getting loose, gang. They getting the fuck up out of there, dog. What do you mean, man? People is running around everywhere. I don't know. Yeah. It's the black niggas in this bitch, too. First, it was a crowd of people attack a man. Now it's gunshots ringing off like this is in a restaurant. Niggas is getting ghosts. What the fuck? Hiding behind chairs, tables, the camera. Motherfuckers trying to get up out of there, man. What did you mean,
what did they tell
man?
You to do?
Nigga crazy.
And act dead.
Play dead, right.
And play dead. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know who all got more guns. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm going to shoot your bitch ass you catch on fire. That's a fact. So for people to be saying he went one step too far, you have to put yourself in his situation. Don't forget, he's there with one person. There's a bunch of lies that came out. When Ben 10 first started talking to academics, Ben 10 told academics that Allstar JR was there with 5 or 6 other guys too, and the guys left him. We now know that he was lying. Everything that the Ben 10 nigga said was a goddamn lie. Allstar JR was there having lunch with a female, minding his own motherfucking business. Jay Prince Jr. and the rest of Jay Prince Jr. called them motherfuckers to that restaurant because he had got tipped off that JR was there. He called the NBA guys to come to confessions. We're going to beat this motherfucking case. We're going to beat that shit because it's all a setup. And then we can't discount or take away the fact that Jay Prince Sr. is who he is. Jay Prince Sr. has put motherfuckers in state legislation positions in. He's put people on the city council. He's sent people to law school in Houston. He's been a millionaire since I'm old as fuck, but he's been a millionaire for the majority of my fucking life. So you would be a fool not to understand and not to believe that he's trying to protect his son, because at the other end of this equation, it is the NBA members who say they don't know All-Star JR. They didn't have a problem with JR. They never met him before, never had an issue with him. The only person who had an issue with him in this situation is Jay Prince Jr. So of course his daddy's gonna spring into action, trying to save him, trying to prevent him from getting caught up. But when you look at what the judge said when it came to the discovery, when it came to all the evidence, and when it came to JR being able to get his own discovery pack, he can't even get his own discovery. And people have said, well, that's what they do now. They don't give discovery. And that is true. The feds don't give out information on certain things. But what they did say is there's an ongoing criminal investigation, and the information inside of the discovery that JR needs to defend himself, his lawyer can get it. His lawyer can discuss it with him, but they can't give it to him, and the lawyer can't disseminate it to the public. There are codes on because they're all electronically generated. So if the lawyer was to give the information out, they would know it was him, because if at the very bottom or at the top, there is like a barcode, and that barcode denotes who that discovery, who that information, who those reports were given to. When it comes to this shit, we're gonna beat this shit hands down. I spoke to JR about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago now, and he's in good spirits, because we know that, bro, absent somebody putting their finger on the scales of justice and tipping that motherfucker against him, he may not beat the gun situation, but he's certainly not gonna suffer an extreme sentence in the event that he's found guilty of anything. And to answer your question, is somebody telling? Fuck yeah, we know somebody's telling. We know somebody's cooperating. We know for a fact that Ben 10, when he's being interviewed, that he told law enforcement that it wasn't his gun. He told them that it was JR's gun. Yeah, they cooperating. They cooperating like a motherfucker.
Well, the Lil Durk case is still going on. And in June of this year, a few weeks ago, there's a superseding indictment by the feds.
Yeah.
There's murder in aid of racketeering,
Mm-hmm.
conspiracy to commit stalking,
Mm-hmm.
and also other related racketeering allegations tied to the government's theory on this case. So the government is throwing more stuff at him. And from what I understand, OTF Vani is cooperating.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think will happen in this case?
Normally, so prior to them adding the additional charges, and I call it increasing the volume. Prior to them increasing the volume on him.
But it's snitching on your ops, snitching though. Everybody snitch. Well, if he's snitching, if he lying. Cause it was his gun. He just saying it wasn't his gun. I don't know who gun it was. It was like 50 people there, man. That shit came from a bystander. A bystander dropped that motherfucker. We don't know what happened.
I was under the impression that just because you have a witness against you doesn't mean that witness can nail you to the cross, right? I think the feds are adding things because of how weak their initial case was. That's just my honest opinion of it. And I've been in courtrooms across the board. If you already have him for what you have him for, then you have him. I know it sounds kind of like third gradish and rhymish, but if you already have him for what you have him for, you have him. If you already have multiple people cooperating, you already have credit card records and phone records, and if you already have all this shit, then you have him. When you add additional things to it, it leads me to believe that you don't have what you're trying to convince the public you have. And I think if they're trying to try this case, I think they want to use the court of public opinion. They're just dumping everything. Listen, you can charge Lil Durk for every fucking homicide that's happened the last 10 years in Chicago. I don't mean you're gonna find him guilty of that shit. And the Vonnie guy is the motherfucker who's trying to get him. He's motivated by trying to get himself free from things that he's done. Vonnie, the true definition of a snitch. That's the true definition of a snitch. That's a motherfucker who found himself in trouble with the law and trying to use somebody else to get himself off of a situation. That's the true, people are, what's a rat? What is snitching? What is this? What is that? That's the true definition of a dirty rat bastard. Somebody who is involved with something, allegedly, and trying to use that something to get himself off of what he's being faced with. That is the true definition of a dirty rat bastard. It don't get no worse than that. As far as the case goes, I don't think the feds have what they said they have, and I think they're trying to heap on more charges and turn the volume up on Durk. So if they can't get him on that, they can get him on something else. They're dirty and they're muddy in the water when it comes to this shit. Because what the fuck is really going on here?
I mean, yeah, look, I know Drew Findling very well. He's been on my show twice, and he's actually become a friend of mine over the time that I got to know him, and we keep in contact, and he's the head lawyer on this case. The case is winnable because Durk was not there, and you have people who are facing life in prison that are trying to get out of it.
Yes.
Now, did he know about it? Did he not know about it? Did he actually put up the money for it? That's going to be a little hard to prove because you're not really going to see the exchange of money for the shooting and so forth. So I think he really does have a chance to beat it. But man, it's the feds. They're going to have not only a whole bunch of witnesses beyond.
An outsider, and you was saying you rich and you need 300.
I rep BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal. I rep BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal.